Week 7, we've got Panthers at Giants. Ryan, the Panthers are on a losing streak, but the Giants are 1-5 in their last 6 games at home. Do you think they can turn it around?
I do. Listen, the Giants played absolutely terrible at home last week against the Los Angeles Rams. Daniel Jones was coming off of concussions. Joe Judge didn't even really seem to care about that. But I expect this team to rebound. I think this team will play better. And the Carolina Panthers are kind of reeling without Christian McCaffrey in that backfield and losing J.C. Horn. The Giants win. It won't be pretty. It actually will be super ugly. And I'm sure Mina absolutely agrees with me.
I unfortunately do not. I mean, I agree with you about this game being ugly. It's not going to be one you want to look at. But I'm going with the Panthers just because I think this is a rebound game for a pass rush, Ryan, that was incredibly impressive early in the season. They can feast on this Giants offensive line, make Daniel Jones uncomfortable and throw some picks, and then Sam Darnold just needs to take care of the football. Give me the Panthers in a close, ugly one. Jets at Patriots means the rookie Zach Wilson against Bill Belichick's defense. Ryan, Belichick is 11-1 in his last 12 starts against rookies. Can Zach break the trend?
Absolutely not. We saw what Zach Wilson looked like facing this New England Patriots defense early on in the season. Now, we've seen him play a little bit better since, so I don't expect all of those turnovers, but Bill Belichick will strike again. Mac Jones is the better of the 2 quarterbacks. Mac Jones has the better supporting cast and the better coaches. And if Mina does not agree with me on this, then I know that I have not sat next to her long enough because she is too smart to go the other way.
Of course, you know I'm going to agree with you here. It might be different if Mac Jones was facing Bill Belichick in his defense, but he is not, and he has been playing good football. I like this matchup for him against a Jets defense that's been battered by injuries. Give me the Patriots at home. I'd be shocked if they don't win this one. Chiefs at Titans. Ryan, Derrick Henry has been dominating defenses all season. Now he gets to play a Chiefs defense that is, shall we say, less than impressive against the run. Will that be enough for the Titans to pull off the upset?
You know what? I don't think it will be, but you're absolutely right. When the Tennessee Titans have the ball, it's going to be like 9-on-7 against air at practice. And probably, though, when the Kansas City Chiefs have the ball, it'll be like 7-on-7, especially with all of those injuries on the back end for the Tennessee Titans. So I expect a shootout. I expect a ton of points. And when it's a ton of points scored, there's no quarterback in the world I trust more than Patrick Mahomes. I believe he makes some plays in the end, cuts down on the turnovers, and the Chiefs edged them out. Mina, don't give me some analytic stat book reason why you're going to disagree with me.
I'm with you. The only stat I'll give you is that Patrick Mahomes is 1 of 1. I agree. It's going to be a high-scoring game. Smash the over in this one. The Chiefs just need to get a couple stops like they did in the past few years. Luckily, Ryan, it looks like Chris Jones, the best player on this entire defense, should be back in this game, and I think that's going to be impactful and will be enough to put the Chiefs over the top in a high-scoring game. Washington at Green Bay means we get Aaron Rodgers, who's been dealing against a Washington defense that's been reeling. Can this unit, which has been underwhelming so far this season, turn it around, Ryan?
Absolutely not. I mean, if you looked at what the Washington football team did last week against the Kansas City Chiefs in the second half, you don't think they can cover anybody. I mean, it wasn't just Tyreek Hill. It was McCole Hardman. It was Robertson. And you think that even though we all know they're going to throw it to Devontae Adams, that they could possibly stop him, especially with this pass rush not being what we expected it this year. I expect the Green Bay Packers to put up points, to put up yardage, and to win this game going away against the Washington football team.
I agree with you completely. Give me Green Bay in this one. Give me Devontae Adams for all of the yards, even though, as you said, we know the football is going to him. Now, the Packers do have additional weapons, tight end, Robert Tonyan, Alan Lazard, but it don't matter. We know Devontae Adams is going to get the ball. We know he's going to score touchdowns, and I believe Green Bay is going to win this game. Falcons at Dolphins, 2 teams that both just played in London. It went a lot better for Atlanta. How does this matchup go for Miami?
You know what? I think Miami wins this game, and this is a tough one to pick, and not because I felt like both teams could play well. It's that both teams could absolutely play terrible. But when you watch Tua Tagovailoa in his first game back from injury, there were some high points. It's this defense that couldn't make plays. I expect Brian Flores to have that fixed in Miami. Not fixed enough to make this a playoff contender, but enough to beat the Atlanta Falcons. And hopefully, Mina will see things the exact same way.
I do, and I'm equally, I don't want to say grossed out by this matchup, but I'm not quite sure who the best team is when neither teams are very good.
Right.
I will say the Miami's weakness is their offensive line, and Atlanta's weakness is their pass rush. So I think that favors Miami. Tua should have a little bit more time. And when he does have time, he's playing okay football, Ryan.
He's been okay.
So give me Miami in this one. Bengals at Ravens, the battle for the AFC North. I'm excited about this one, Ryan. I'm excited to see who you've got.
Listen, I was extremely excited, so much so at first I was going with the Bengals, and then I watched and I researched. And actually, I just saw Lamar Jackson on TV, and I totally changed. I'm going with the Ravens and Lamar Jackson, the way this defense picked it up last week. And I'm also excited to see if Marlon Humphrey will be matched on Jamar Chase to stop some of those deep balls. I think it's close. I think the Bengals show well. But in the end, Lamar Jackson is just too much.
Yeah, this is an interesting challenge for Don Wink Martindale, defensive coordinator. Very blitz-happy defense against the quarterback and Joe Burrow, who excels against the blitz. But I'm also going with the Ravens for the same reason, and that is the existence of one Lamar Jackson. That's some really solid analysis from both of us. The Bengals defense has been really solid. I just don't think they can stop him. Lions at Rams, a.k.a. the Jared Goff revenge game. Will the quarterback, who was, of course, traded from L.A. to Detroit, get his revenge?
No, this is all about Matthew Stafford. This is the breakup bowl. And in the breakup bowl, usually the prettier girl or guy wins. And the prettier one is Matthew Stafford. He also comes along with a better supporting cast. I know Detroit plays hard. I know that they bite kneecaps, but these kneecaps are way too high to reach with your teeth, and the Los Angeles Rams win.
Well, now I'm just thinking about somebody with extraordinarily high kneecaps. It's really hard to come up with a way for the Lions to keep this one close, especially with how explosive the Rams offense has been and how dominant their defense has been as well at stopping the deep ball. I just can't see this one being close. Give me the Rams establishing themselves as contenders. Eagles at Raiders. Ryan, if Las Vegas wins this one, they'll have their best 7-game start in 5 years. Can they do it?
Actually, absolutely. Las Vegas will have their best 7-game start. When you watched this team play last week, it was a team that played with energy on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball. Derek Carr was sharp. They got into the run game. Obviously, the deep pass was there, and they put pressure on the quarterback. That's exactly what they're going to have to do this week against the Philadelphia Eagles. Added a little patience because we know the Eagles will play some zone, but I believe that this team wins again and continues to show that they can play well without their former head coach, John Gruden.
I agree with you. I do think the Eagles can run the ball on Las Vegas if they actually give the ball to Miles
They're
Sanders
not going to give it to
or
him.
Kenneth Gainwell. But I think the Raiders' passing attack will be too much for this team to handle. Derek Carr is playing really good football right now. I've been really impressed by his aggression against pressure. That's new for him. Love the connection with Henry Ruggs. So give me the Raiders, and I don't think it'll be too close. The Cardinals are the NFL's last unbeaten team, and now they get to play the Texans at home, Ryan. Do they stay unbeaten?
Absolutely. Listen, when you look at the Cardinals and the way that they've been playing, I think J.J. Watt just said, hey, no more excuses. We're just bleeping good, or we're just bleeping better. And they are absolutely better than the Houston Texans. I don't expect this game to be close. Kyler Murray continues to show that he's an MVP candidate. And this Arizona Cardinals defense that is much improved feast on this very, very, very sorry Houston Texans offense. And Mina, we both know when a team gets rolling like this, you don't want to see them. And if you're the Houston Texans, you actually don't want to see anybody.
Yeah, I would call this a revenge game for DeAndre Hopkins and J.J. Watt. both former Texans, but is beating Houston really revenge at this point? Like, do you feel good about it?
Not at all.
I think Arizona dominates for the reasons you described. They have been a balanced team, excellent on both sides of the ball. Yeah. Both of the players I just mentioned, acquired from Houston, have been phenomenal. Give me the Arizona Cardinals. Yeah. It ain't going to be close. The Chicago Bears travel to Tampa Bay to play the Buccaneers, who are missing Rob Gronkowski, Levante David, Antonio Brown. Will that be enough for Chicago to pull off the upset, Ryan?
No, I'm going with the Bucs, but this does scare me. When you watch Tom Brady play offensively, Rob Gronkowski, Antonio Brown, they seem to be his go-to guys, the guys he's most comfortable with, even with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin being available. But I just don't think that Bill Lazor, the offensive coordinator of the Bears, allows Justin Fields to push the ball down the football field enough in order to make the big plays to keep this team in the game. It was a very tough pick for me, Mina, but I'm going to stick with the Bucs.
I agree insofar as I think it's close, but I'm leaning Tampa Bay, largely because I've been really impressed by this Bears defense, perhaps one of the more surprising units in the NFL, playing really good football at all levels. But on the other side of the ball, I just don't like the matchup between this Bears offensive line and the Bucs pass rush.
No,
so give me Tampa,
absolutely.
But I think it'll be close. The Indianapolis Colts traveled to San Francisco to take on the 49ers and, notably, quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo returning from injury. Who wins this one, Ryan?
I think it's the Indianapolis Colts, and this team has been coming along, right? They had that tough 5-game start, and Jimmy G's being nicked up and, being Jimmy G. I think that this defense of the Colts plays well. And so you know what it's going to be, Mina. All we're going to hear about on Monday and Tuesday is the Fighting Dan Orlovskis have finally got a win, and yay, let's go Carson Wentz. This time, though, Mina, it might be the right thing to say.
Well, it's going to be the wrong thing to say, because if the Colts win, it'll be because of their run defense, not because of Carson Wentz. But I am picking them for that reason. If I felt Jimmy Garoppolo could take advantage of them through the air, as many teams had, I would lean San Francisco. But he's banged up. He hasn't played super well this season. So give me Indy in a close one. The Saints head to Seattle for Monday Night Football to play Geno Smith. Ryan, any chance that Geno Smith pulls off the win for Seattle?
I mean, like, is this something from 2013? No, there is no way that the Seattle Seahawks win this game. And let me not say no way. I'm just picking the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints play great man-to-man defense on the back end defensively. Jameis Winston, when comfortable, has played well this season. I expect him to have time in the pocket against the Seattle Seahawks. And this game will be close. It won't be necessarily a blowout, but the Saints find a way to make the critical football plays in the end to get the dub.
I agree. Look, Seattle doesn't have their starting quarterback, but the Saints have also been hit by injuries. Fortunately for the Seahawks, they still have Marshawn Lattimore, they still have Cameron Jordan, and they still have Alvin Kamara. I think those three players are enough to put them over the top.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.